Yeah. Money one, 너는 꿈꾸지 말만 많지, just do it. Like Nike, just do it. Get to know me and I 내 flow가 잡은 눈이.
Okay, so shall we begin?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So, like the first question is that like everyone thinks about it that when we'll go to the new college, how would be the experience? And when it comes to Banasthali, none of us really had a very good, dreamy picture of Banasthali. So, what was your perception before coming to Banasthali, and how did it change over time?
Okay, so yeah, I was also like I really wanted to go get into some really good college like NIT or IIT. Like my brother is also a graduate from IIT Kharagpur. So I also had you can say dreams on similar lines, and I really worked hard. So I was kind of depressed as well because not because I was joining other college, but because yeah, like I didn't perform pretty well in those exams. So yeah, and coming to Banasthali, it's way different from what you have expected from an ideal college life. And even after going into the college, till fourth year, you would be feeling like your friends are doing something else and you're not having fun. But one thing I've seen that you can either cry for what Banasthali is not offering you, or you can just enjoy and have the best years of your life in college by just making the most out of whatever opportunities you are getting in Manasli. You get a lot of opportunities, a lot. Like it's only a thing that you have to explore. If you are just way too lazy to not even step out of your bed and just you only prefer just utilizing time or just spending time on your phone and laptops and so on. So yeah, that would be pretty boring in Manasli because even internet connection is not good. But if you really want to explore and have some really great experiences, then Banasthali has got a lot of opportunities. And it tick marks all the check boxes as well when it comes to parents' concerns regarding studies and security and so on. And yeah, it really has to offer a lot, and you can make the best out of it if you are really determined to enjoy your college life in Banasthali.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even I had the same perception, but then when I came there, I realized that it's not like that. I mean, I really don't have to cry about, no freshers party, no modern sort of clothes. You can just enjoy what
It's
it
like
really
people organize Monday nights, and we have our own share of fun. There are small little fairs like Apaji, and then we have Dandiya nights. I don't think in any other college so many festivals are celebrated and in such a great like a pomp and show manner, as you can say actually. So yeah, it's really great to be there. You can enjoy or you can just cry. There are just two options you have in Banasthali, so it's up to you, what do you choose.
Yeah. Okay. So, what was your favorite thing about Vanestali? What was like, okay, this is it, and probably I wouldn't have gotten this anywhere else. So, what was that one thing, like the best one?
uh, I guess I should give credit to my team. So I've been a part of this team, Team Corona, since my very first year, and this is one of the best things that happened to me in college life. I can actually say, uh, I've learned a lot from this particular team, and this was one particular thing. Being a part of club, you get to learn so much. You get to meet new people. You get to learn from their experiences, and you get to collaborate with people. In the beginning, it's not at all like whenever we had school projects, that was way different from now when you are actually organizing events. Like I
Hmm.
am sure while you are also organizing so many things, so it's a whole lot of like it's really fun. It's at the same time exhausting, it's sometimes overwhelming. You laugh, you cry, you just have intense discussions with your teammates, but it all contributes to a very beautiful journey. And you guys are doing a great job. Kudos to your team. So first of all, yeah, I should definitely appreciate whatever you are doing. I've been following you closely, whatever things you've been posting for so long on Instagram, and whatever activities you've been doing, and this particular event also that you have organized along this particular senior speak with the fourth years. It's pretty good for the students. I'm sure this would really help them clear their doubts.
Thank you so much, Dee. Okay, so next thing is that, as you said, you learned a lot. So, what was the most important thing through your college journey which you learned, and it's like you'll never forget it? An important lesson.
I guess once you've lived in Banasthali, you get to learn a lot of hacks. Like in the very beginning, there are a lot of things you are told that these are the rules and you cannot do this. But eventually learn the hacks, whether it's regarding, taking leave from college, whether it's regarding even small things like making Maggie in your hostel room, because even kettles are not allowed. But everyone knows that everyone has got a kettle, right? So eventually learn hacks, a lot of hacks, and you can tackle, I guess, almost anything and everything if you really survived in Banasthali. So there's nothing that could really be that challenging that you won't get through a particular situation. I guess that is what I've learned the most from Banasthali.
Okay, okay. So, next thing is that, what was like, a stressful phase which you would consider a stressful time, because there's a lot we have to do in Banasthali. If we, start doing things, there's a lot. So, was there a time which you felt like it was too much, too overwhelming, and too stressful? So, what was that?
Okay, so hands down, I would say there are two things that are very stressful for every student and any student you will ask. One is placements, and the other is the very first few months when you join a college. But other than that, that is something different. I mean, that is something that everyone faces in every college almost.
Hmm.
In particularly Banasthali, and from my experience, I felt in third year, the particular sixth semester, that was really, really hectic because there are a lot of things on the line. You've got internships. Being from CS branch, I had my internship from starting from July till December. So in Feb, we were not sure that which companies would be coming to the college and where would be getting an internship, and then whether we will be able to get a good internship or not. So that was one concern. Next concern comes with your project presentations. In 6M we have to make a project as well. There were presentations and so on. Then it is also the time when all the fests are conducted through like all the clubs conduct their fest mostly during that time. So being a part of a team, we also had that responsibility. And last year we also celebrated like the decade of our team, so we had even more responsibilities being a part of core team. So that was really, really hectic. There were too many things on my plate and I was not sure that which one, how am I supposed to handle so much of stuff. Then like the projects and the internships, and then you have this whole stress that because internships ultimately could provide you a chance for getting converted into a PPO as well. So that was, I would say, the 6M, especially January and February, that were really, really stressful.
Hmm. Okay. Okay, so yeah, so basically the time when we have to, organize the events and all the fest and all that, so that gets really stressful in the internship part.
This
So
the 6 I would say the 6M for any third year student, not just for the ones who are working in clubs, because at that time it's like internships are around the corner. Then you have got your project presentations. I'm sure when you come into third year, you'll remember my words and you might just give it a laugh that yeah, that particular day someone told me this particular thing. Now I'm actually feeling it. So it's really hectic for every third year. That particular Jan, February around months, like you can say, it's really hectic for everyone. So, and to like a cherry on the top on the icing, these clubs and these activities. So that is what really burdens us even more. But
yeah,
at the same time, it's fun too.
yeah, exactly. Okay. So about like you are a CS student and coding, even I think that coding is really difficult and I personally don't even like coding. And there's so many students, not just in like I am not from CS branch, but there are students in CS branch who don't really like coding and consider it a a tricky thing and face so many hurdles and all that. So what advice would you give to them and to the students who do not belong to CS and have to study CS? So yeah.
So basically, coding, I would say, is it's just like maths. It's like whenever you do maths, the more you practice, the better you get at it. Then when you practice a lot, you get accustomed to a few tips and tricks, and then when next time you see a question of a similar pattern, you know that this particular question you need to approach it in a particular manner. It's not like maths is just simply 1 plus 2 and every time you're going to get that. We have seen that in classes 9th and 10th, that you have to follow a pattern as well sometimes. So similar is the case with coding. And I've seen for myself, I've seen in my batchmates as well, this one thing that people are, I don't know why they are sort of afraid of coding. They don't want to code. They'll be like, that this particular thing is difficult, I cannot do. So they eventually leave it. There's no point, doing 5 codes in a day and then just leaving it altogether. Instead of that, just start from very basics. Don't even jump to directly difficult questions. Just start from very basic questions like arrays and strings and so on, and just at least make it a habit. Once you make coding a habit, now I can guarantee you there's no company that you cannot crack. There's no dream job that you cannot get to. Even if you are at the stage of that, you cannot just even, you can just write a hello world program right now, even if you are in that particular stage. And if you start working from today itself, I can guarantee that in a couple of months you can like you can get to any tech giant. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm seeing you in Google or Microsoft or any tech giant just after a couple of months of hard work. And you just need to be consistent and maintain your craft. That's the only mantra if you really want to grow in coding.
Okay. So, are there any other options than coding which we can follow so as to give a, get a good job other than
Okay,
coding?
so see, one thing these days is like even if you are in EC or you are in biotech, like there are a lot of companies like Goldman Sachs and so on who give opportunity to all the students. It's not restricted to just CSIT students, right? And in the very first test that they have is aptitude plus coding. A lot of companies take just apti as well, but majority companies take a combination of apti as well as coding. So at least be that much clear with the concepts of coding that you can perform fair in the coding test. Because if you're not even able to do like anything, so that would be really difficult for you. If you don't have interest at all in coding and if you want to pursue higher studies, then that's a different thing. Obviously, if you want to pursue MBA and GATE and so on. But if you are aiming to get a placement right after college, then like coding is something unavoidable. You'll have to do it. If not, I'm not saying become a pro at coding. Just be consistent. Like do just one code a day at least. And with that consistency itself, you'll become fairly good at coding and you'll be able to crack any coding round or any first round, basically the shortlisting round, the very first round that is, and you'll be able to crack any of them.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, when it comes to placement, okay. So, is there a particular path which students must follow when it comes to placement point of view, like how to prepare for interviews and
Okay,
GDs
so
and all that?
okay. So this is, I suppose, the one of the most important questions that every student has in their minds while starting preparation, whether in first year or whether in fourth year. Everyone has the same doubt. So very first thing I would say is that every person has its own path. You have to ultimately pave your own path. So just yeah, you can learn from someone's experiences. You can see to it that whether it suits you or not, but eventually you'll have to figure out what works for you. Like some of my seniors told me some resources like you should practice from Coach Chef or Hacker Rank and so on. But for me, what worked was I practiced from Lead Code, Geeks for Geeks, and Interview Bit. And here and there, I used to give a lot of tests and competitions every now and then. So that is what worked from me. I guess I might just tell you my experience of whatever interviews, because I've been to a lot of off campus as well as on campus tests and interviews. So basically, in third year, when Goldman Sachs came, I wasn't even able to do a single thing. I was like blank in that particular test. It was I have no words to even explain it. Then came Fidelity and Eaton. There were a couple of companies that came, and I was not performing well. And this was this particular 6 semesters I'm talking about. So that was a little stressful as well. We were not sure that how are we going to perform in our placements. Then came lockdown, and I started practicing. I merely started practicing that I'm not concerned about where I'm going to go and where will I land up. I just started coding. I started studying about it. Then in the month of July, when Goldman Sachs came, I even got shortlisted for it. And not just shortlisted, I performed fairly well in the particular test. So that was something like I knew that okay, whatever I was doing, that wasn't just a waste of time. That was really helping me out. Even though I couldn't get through the interviews, but I was somehow I knew that okay, so I'm walking on the right path, and if I continue walking on it, I might just get success pretty soon. But I have failed a lot of tests, a lot. Like I have given, I don't know, Flipkart, UBS, and there were a couple of companies, Barclays, Sanders. Even though there were a lot of I was giving tests, and I felt sometimes that yeah, I'll get shortlisted, I'll get through this particular interview or this particular company. But eventually I wasn't able to. That was frustrating as well. It happens with everyone. So one advice over here is that just keep your calm and keep doing. Pretty stressful, I would say. Definitely it's very stressful. So just talk to your friends and just talk to whosoever you want to and keep your calm. Then I have also given the interviews of like company Athena Healthcare, then came Salesforce. So yeah, and I remember one time when I got this like I told you, I have given, I used to give competitions every now and then. So one time I got this mail from Google, and it was like, you have been shortlisted for this particular process, and we would like to call you for a telephonic round. And my first reaction was, is someone doing a prank on me? Because at that time, it was like, how is it even possible that I'm getting a shortlisted mail from Google? So but yeah, I in the very first round, I remember even I hadn't prepared for the telephonic round a bit. I just went, and after the interview I told my friends that it just went fine, and I was pretty scared in the beginning, but it went fine, and I'm not even sure I'll get through it. 2 or 3 days after that, I got a mail that the recruiter was pretty impressed by my performance, but yeah, I was not able to execute it fully. So they want to conduct another round of telephonic interview. Now I was like, okay, now this is getting serious. This is really getting serious. I wasn't expecting this at all. I was expecting a rejection mail from them, and now they want to conduct another round of interview. Then I had my second telephonic round, and it went really well. And the recruiter was, my interviewer was very happy with the kind of flow that the interview went. And so I was selected for the on-site interviews, and that was again a bummer for me, because I wasn't even expecting that I would even get through that particular round. So yeah, recently I have just given those on-site interviews. Had it been normal times, I would have gone there to their particular office and uh, just interviewed there. So my whole point in telling you all of this is that it doesn't matter if today you are just not able to get through a particular test or interview. Just keep your calm, just keep doing. No matter what level you start at, like hello world level. I'm saying, you seriously on hello world level also, if you start, but if you are consistent with your work, then you can get to any place. Few do's and don'ts include that have a good background check of the company for whatever you'll be going for the interview. Have a good background check, and during the interview, try and specify some points that so that the person interviewing you knows that yes, you are interested in this particular position, you are interested in this particular company. Then have a few questions in mind. Do ask some good questions. If you are given a coding problem, then do give it some time. Ask doubts, like even if you are not, if you don't have any doubts, just for the sake of asking, you can just clarify few inputs that whether this is expected from you or not. So it leaves a good impact on the interviewer. And prepare a good 1 minute intro of yourself. It acts as a bait for the interviewer. Like whatever strong points you have, just mention in that short and crisp intro. Sorry, so that the interviewer could ask you questions
and thank you for just giving me another chance. I'm sorry for missing the last time. So I'll just ask the questions in continuation of the last time where we left. Okay. So the question which again everyone thinks about is that we have to handle so many things. Like we have to handle our studies, then the fivefold activities, then language and all the household chores, like things which we do, all that. So how should we, I'm like the new students will be coming, they manage their time and do all of it?
So, see, basically, Banasthali has got a lot to offer. So, in that way, you can either make the most of it or you can just script that there are too many things to do. The very first thing. Next thing, that in any college or wherever you go, you ultimately learn this hack on the way while working itself. So, it's like we all know there are certain days fixed, like we know that Tuesday is hair wash day or the day our classes are off, or we somehow are lucky enough to get some class cancelled or so on. So that way you somehow learn those hacks on the way. But it's also important that you learn to prioritize things, like what is more important at the moment. You can certainly there are so many opportunities, and I hope that everyone makes the most of it. There are so many activities that Banasthali offers, for instance, horse riding and then aviation. And then there are so many clubs organizing so many activities. So one should definitely take part and not just around and so yeah, you will learn this actually as you progress in the college. So that doesn't remain a challenge with time.
Yeah. Okay. And you mentioned horse riding and other five food activities. So would you like to like elaborate about the fests and all the events which are conducted by
Okay, so there are
Banasthali?
a lot of clubs present in Banasthali. I'm really thankful to every club that I've come across, because they really organize such great events. They all everyone puts in such great efforts to make their events successful. Not just participants but also the team members. There are teams like Team Innovation, Corona, IAM, and like throughout the year, so many events are conducted, and it caters to every talent for anyone and everyone. Like there are quiz events, there are treasure hunt events, debates, and basically there are so many events that sometimes it becomes difficult to like which one you should opt for and which one you should leave. So I would say that even if you are not going too far, at least you should definitely give the prelims for each and every event. And the club members make sure that they publicize the event so well that I mean, it's like it's impossible that a person won't come across the news of a particular event. They make extensive hostel announcements, messages are circulated in the groups, and then there are class announcements. So they make sure that the events students don't miss out on any of the opportunities. So that is one thing that the club members take care of. The only thing that students need to take care of is that they need to just be a little more active in the college and take part on those in those activities. And the ones who do, they really enjoy doing it. And I have seen that people really improve on their skills as well. Like even if in first year you are not doing very great, but if they just keep continuing taking part, and they really it really helps them to grow their skills as well. So yeah, there are a lot of opportunities, and one should definitely try all of them.
Yeah, okay. And while trying all of this, it sometimes becomes too overwhelming. We get stressed out because we have our studies to manage and then club, the activities and all of it. So how should we deal with the stress which comes along?
Okay, so if you talk about the overwhelming situation, then I would say that first of all, it's more overwhelming for first years, because it's like they're not very comfortable with the environment they get in Banasal, because they are what they see around them, their friends, what their friends are experiencing in other colleges. So we start comparing, and then we start cribbing, seeing what we are not getting. But So like if you talk about stress with in respect to what first years feel, so I would say that with time, and if you just see on the bright side of what Banasthali has to offer, then you'll surely have fun, and you'll be really grateful for that you are a part of this particular organization that offers so much. And if it comes to stress on being you are just surrounded by too many things, and sometimes it's overwhelming because of the leave process that is followed, or like the internet, maybe there are small little things that really seem to stress us out, like it does become overwhelming. I won't say that in fourth year it won't be an overwhelming situation for me. If I would have been present there in the campus, it is always an overwhelming situation. Even if today, if someone tells me that you have to follow the whole leave procedure, then definitely I would also crib about it and cry about it once more, maybe one last time only. But yeah, I would definitely do that. So just to cope for it, I would say that don't just bottle up, don't just keep things too much to yourself. Talk it out. That would be the best way, the best possible. Once you know, just take it out. And we are all like, it happened with us also, like whatever we faced during the leave application, so that was also kind of a funny story during tea time, that this all happened with me. So this particular teacher did this to me because of my leave application, or what the warden said to me. So just take things out. Like even if you are facing any problem with whether it's regarding academics, whether it's regarding like your placements or anything, talk to your seniors as well. I would say they are really really helpful. I've seen that sometimes you don't get an opportunity in Banasthali to talk to the seniors. So that in that
Mm.
way, when you take part in the events that these clubs organize, so over there you get to know seniors, you get to know your juniors, and it does become a bond, like when you are working there in
Mm.
a team. So that also gives you a platform to express yourself, to talk about things which maybe you are not able to like express in front of maybe your parents, or maybe sometimes even in front of your friends. So you can definitely seek help from them, and I'm sure that things would be very different from like if you get to learn from their perspective and their experience, so things would definitely get better.
Yeah. So there is a very sisterly culture in Banasthali once you
Yeah,
get to know the seniors and talk to them. Yeah.
exactly.
Okay. So, yeah. So, on an ending note, what message would you like to give to all the students who will be listening to this? The first years, second years, third years, the coming fourth years, all of them.
Okay, so the coming first years who will be joining in this session, so I suppose they will be having an offline session. So not just those first years, but also the ones who will be coming to the coming to the second year. So it's like more or less the same situation for them, because they'll be attending offline classes, and they'll be entering Banasthali for the very first time. So one simple piece of advice for them, that just be calm. Like things, I'm pretty sure that it's gonna take time for you to get comfortable in the situation, in the environment. So look on the brighter side. Look instead of just weighing the pros and cons of what Banasthali has to offer, look at the brighter side, because it does have a lot of things. And once you start looking at the brighter side, there won't be any going back, and you won't have any regrets as well. So enjoy. You'll definitely have a great time. Only it's just that things are gonna take a little time. So give yourself that time, and don't be hard on yourself. And for third years and the coming fourth years, there's the coming third years, I mean. So yeah, you'll be facing like for the fourth years, it's gonna be one heck of a time, because placement season is pretty overwhelming and sometimes frustrating as well. So you just need to maintain your calm and just keep working, because you don't know, your day is not very far. It's like just there are opportunities, some you'll miss, but there are a lot of opportunities, a lot of organizations visit our campus. And I do feel that we are pretty grateful that being a part of this women organization, a lot of companies visit our campus, some really good MNCs. Maybe if you won't get to sit in the placement procedure of these companies in other private colleges, but we do get that opportunity. So be thankful that for that, and just keep working. uh, that is the only mantra uh, for getting through your placements. Just be consistent in your approach, and the same advice would go for the third years as well, the coming third years. This third year is one heck of a year where you have to work on your projects, you have your internships, and the way next year you also know that you'll be sitting for placements, and it's pretty tough year for you as well. So just don't be hard on yourself, just be very consistent with your approach. That is it. Like some days you should also take a day off, while other days you should also feel that maybe you need to work a little more to get an edge over others, or maybe to just get what you desire, whatever your dream company is, if you want to get into it. So definitely you won't get things like sitting idle, so you'll have to work as well. So you need to maintain a balance between both these things. So yeah, and I would just sympathize with my fellow fourth years, because we didn't get to enjoy our final year. So yeah,
Yeah.
maybe sometime, some other day, we might just meet outside, and maybe I would just wish we could have get to live at least a week. Definitely not in the favor of giving offline exams. Uh, Except that one last time, I would like to do every other thing one last time in my college, like making the last Maggie, or going for an evening walk, or going to lakeside. So yeah, that's it.
Okay. So thank you so much, Dee, for providing all the insights. It was really, really helpful. And thank you for taking out time again. Really, Dee, thank you so much.
No issues for that. I just hope that it could somehow help the all the juniors, not just third years or second years or first years, but anyone who might be entering Banasthali maybe some years later, or whosoever it could help. And I would just uh, I mean, I'm always there. If anyone feels to reach out to me, if anyone wants to seek help in any sort of way, like regarding academics, regarding placements, so yeah, one could always contact me on LinkedIn, Insta, WhatsApp. I'm pretty much active on every social media platform. So I would be glad to help. So feel free to approach me if you have any issues, or if you are struggling with anything.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dee.